Hello again, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. This is the second video in a series that I hope will help you improve your performance with word formation in the Cambridge B2 exam, Reading and Use of English Part 3. So last time in the first video we looked at the idea of prefixes, using letters, prefixes before a word to change it from positive to negative. However, in part 3 in the word formation exercise, there are word changes that you need to know that are not connected to prefixes. So let's have a look at that and make sure you've got your notebook ready in case you want to write down any information or tips from this video. Let's get started. Now, of course, in the word formation exercise that you will do in the exam, there's a full text, a complete text, and you have 8 questions to answer. There are 8 marks in total. But here we're going to look at individual sentences, and I'll give you some information that will help you do this exercise a bit better and hopefully improve your scores. Look at the first example. I cut myself shaving and there was all over the floor. So in the exam you get a word which is at the end of the line usually, and the word we have here is bleed. Your job, your task, is to change that word so that it fits correctly in the gap. Now, the first thing to do is ask yourself, what kind of word is bleed? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it an adverb? It's a verb, to bleed. I cut myself. I'm bleeding. To bleed is a verb. Now the second thing, what kind of word do you need in the gap? How can you answer the question with the correct kind of word? I cut myself shaving and there was something all over the floor. Is the missing word a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb? It's a noun. So now we know we need to change the verb bleed to the noun. Do you know the word? Blood. Be careful of the pronunciation. You have double O, but the sound is ah, the same sound as up. So blood. There was blood all over the floor. So there's a word change that is not with a prefix. It's changing from the verb to the noun, and you just need to know that family, to bleed, blood, bloody, etc. Moving on, let's go to the next word, which is choose, and our sentence is, do you want to have pizza or fish for lunch? The is yours. What do you think? What kind of word is choose? I choose life. It's a verb, to choose something. What word do we need in the gap? The something is yours. If you have an article like the or a or an, the next word is probably a noun, and that's true in this case. The something is yours, it's a noun. What is the noun of choose? Do you know? It's choice. The choice is yours. So choose is the verb, choice the noun. Let's do another one. Take my something and do Craig's B2 first preparation course. Of course. And we have the word advise. So to advise is a verb. And we need the noun. It's advice with a C. So advise is the verb with an S, and advice is with a C. Take my advice. Anxiety. Are you about your job interview next week? So if you have anxiety, and anxiety is a noun, then you feel nervous, you feel unsure, unsettled, something is going to happen and you're worried about it. You have some anxiety. We need the adjective. Are you about your job interview? Yes, I am this. So I am, and the adjective of anxiety is anxious. An anxious person, an anxious man. I am anxious. The pronunciation of the OUS is anxious, anxious. I feel anxious. Next one, the management of the company is making statements. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So if nobody knows what's going to happen, there's insecurity. It's unstable. So we need a word that signifies that state. And the word we have is contradict, which is a verb. And we need an adjective because it's describing the statements, and statement is a noun. Do you know the answer? This is a little more difficult. So well done if you wrote contradictory. Contradictory statements. The management is making contradictory statements. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Everything is in the air. Nothing is certain. Contradiction is the noun. Let's look at the next one. She looked at me in something when I told her I was emigrating to Canada. Why would I emigrate to Canada? It's a long, long way to go. The word we have is believe. I believe. To believe. Obviously, that's a verb. But what word do we need in the gap? She looked at me in. We need the noun. However, do we need the positive or the negative word? It's the negative word. And well done if you knew disbelief. So notice the spelling change there. We've got believe with a V, and the noun is belief. And we need the prefix dis, because if you saw the previous video, that's one of the prefixes which changes belief to a negative. Disbelief. That is the only prefix you can use with belief to make it negative. She looked at me in disbelief. She did not believe me when I told her I was emigrating to Canada. So not only do you need to know the correct word family, noun, verb, adverb, etc., you also need to know if it's positive or negative depending on the context. So read the text first, in this case read all of the sentence, and then decide if you need the negative word or the positive word. If it's the negative word, what prefix do you need? Communicate is our next word. He's very quiet and he won't tell you anything, which means he does not communicate. Communicate is the verb. Which kind of word do we need for the gap? He is He's quiet and something. Quiet is an adjective. So we need an adjective. What is the adjective of to communicate? And is it positive or negative? Okay, let's see if you've got the answer. Uncommunicative. So a communicative person communicates well, communicates easily. However, the opposite, someone who's very quiet, like me, is uncommunicative. communicative. So there's some examples of words for you to think about. If there were any new words there, or if you did not know those word families, make a note, write them down, learn them, and use them in conversation or in emails and your writing as soon as possible so that you don't forget them. There will be another video soon about this topic with some more examples for you to practice. And if you're interested in taking the B2 first exam, the Cambridge B2 first exam, do you have the level yet? If you want to see if you have the level to take the Cambridge B2 first exam, go to the web page here, englishmasterclass.net, take the free level test, and if you get more than 60%, yes, you're ready to take the preparation course and register for the Cambridge exam. All the information is on the website. Thanks for watching. My name's Craig. I'll see you in the next video.